All right, my friends, get ready for open enrollment. It's coming October 15th to December 7th. Let me turn my light on here. So get ready because open enrollment's going to be fun. I want to share with you some tips of the trade, so to speak, for you folks who are looking at your Medicare Gap supplement, or Medicare supplement, otherwise known as Medigap, or your Medicare Part C, which is your Medicare Advantage. Because as our man Jay told us, lots coming down the pipe for 2019. So I want to share with you this article from Elaine Floyd. Remember, Elaine Floyd is who I interviewed on Social Security a few weeks back for my podcast, and just a wonderful human being who herself is on Medicare. So she has some personal experiences. So I want to share this with you, a quick and easy one on open enrollment. Get ready for an open enrollment. If your clients are starting to receive Medicare information in the mail, if they have a Medicare Advantage plan, Medicare Advantage is Part C, all right? So the original Medicare is A is hospital building, essentially. B is a doctors, the physicians that you use. And then that's original Medicare. Then you have Medigap or Medicare supplemental policies, which will kind of give you an umbrella to minimize your out-of-pocket expenses because, again, A and B do not cover everything. You have unlimited out-of-pocket expenses if all you have is original Medicare. So Medigap or Medicare supplement will give you for a premium, usually between $100 and $200 a month, whatever state you live in, to give you some less exposure of the upside. But then there's Medicare Part C, which is a Medicare Advantage, and that essentially replaces original Medicare by kind of throwing it all into one. And then you have Medicare Part D, which is your prescription drugs. All right. Now, a lot of the MA Medicare Advantage plans also include a Part D. So the nice thing about Medicare Advantage is you get A, B, and D all thrown into one plan, and usually it's pretty cheap, simply because it's an in-network, either an HMO or PPO, and because of that, the insurer is able to restrict some of your ability to go see the doctor you want. No other way around that. But then some don't include a Medicare Part D in their Medicare Advantage plan, so you need to do the research on that, and it changes every year, as Jay tells us all the time. Now, if you have Medicare supplement, you will need a standalone prescription plan, drug Part D. All right, so let's talk about it because Elaine does talk about that here. If they have Medicare Advantage or Part D prescription drug plan, they will get information about how those plans will change or not in 2019. They will also receive information from other plans that want their business. And you're going to see a lot of ads on the radio and TV, that's for sure. If they're like most people, they'll toss those brochures, do nothing, and re-enroll in the same plan by default. Don't do that. Don't do that. And Jay told us, there is significant changes coming down the pike. Don't just throw the brochures and re-enroll. Huge changes. And then going to 2020, the following year, they're no longer going to have Medigap Plan F is going away. And so you cannot just rely on the tried and true. You've got to be doing the research on this, even for Medigap policies. A lot of people say, well, Medicare Advantage plans, I need to look at it, so I'm going to go to Medigap so I don't ever have to do it again. No, you have to because it's going away. Now, those people enrolled in Medicare Plan F, they don't have to do anything, but it behooves you to do that because remember, when they shut it down, as I did a video like Plan J, what happens to the premiums? Well, inherently, they're not adding new blood, and the old blood is getting older and sicker. The premiums inherently are going to go up across the board. And it might not happen on one fell swoop, but certainly as you age, it's going to, because everybody else in the group, the insured group, is getting older too, which makes it more and more expensive to you. So you might want to think about revisiting that anyway. If evaluating Medicare plans is not my business, which is not, that is, you discuss Medicare with clients only because you want to point them in the right direction. You have some decisions how you want to get involved in the annual Medicare planning shopping expedition. At a minimum, you might want to remind clients that Medicare annual enrollment starts on October 15th. If they want to make changes to their plan for next year, they need to do it by December 7th. So October 15th to December 7th, my friends, that's what you got to be thinking about. You might also want to warn them that Medicare plans do and make changes from year to year, especially Medicare Advantage plans in particular. The Medigaps is all, they can't just add, it's regulated by the CMS, Center for Medicaid and Medicare Services, CMS, what they can provide in their Medigap policy. So there's not a lot of additions and subtractions unless CMS allows it, but Medicare Advantage, that's different. Their only way of notifying members of these changes is through mail via the evidence of coverage and annual notice of change. It is therefore imperative that they read this mail, find out how their plans may be changing, and decide if they want to continue the same plan or not. I mean, if you know anything about the investment industry, you get stuff in the mail all the time. It just goes in the trash. Like, I don't want to see that. Can't do that when it comes to Medicare. You might also remind them that even if their current plan will continue unchanged, there may be new plans entering the marketplace or other plans offering better benefits at more reasonable cost. To learn about these plans, they'll need to be more proactive and not rely on the contents of their mailbox. You can point them to the Medicare Plan Finder, a licensed insurance agent, a broker, or their state health insurance assistance program for help. In most cases, the fall open enrollment period is the only time clients can change plans. So from October 15th to December 7th, that 7 to 8 week period is the only time mostly you can change plans. When the 2019 plans take effect January 1st, clients are expected to remain in the plan for the entire calendar year. It is possible to disenroll from a Medicare Advantage plan and go back to original Medicare from January 1st till February 14th. But then you have the issue of qualifying for the Medigap policy if they didn't have one before, or if they're outside the 6-month guaranteed issue. So remember, guaranteed issue and getting the policy are two completely different things. If you switch out from Medigap to Medicare Advantage, you want to go to Medigap, they might not take you because they're going to underwrite you for sure. So keep that in mind. And even going from Medigap provider to Medigap provider is not a guaranteed issue. You might have to be underwritten, and if you have issues health-wise, they have the right to decline you. It is. Now, that doesn't mean your previous firm can drop you. They can't. But you can't just go from Plan F to Plan F because Plan F here is cheaper than Plan F over there. Can't do that. The Plan F that you currently have or that you're looking at going might say, no, we don't want you here because whatever. I mean, that's the way it works. Now, the other plan has to keep you, but it's up to you to be responsible for this. During this fall annual open enrollment period, they can switch from one Medicare Advantage plan to another Advantage plan, switch from one drug plan to another drug plan, or switch from a Medicare Advantage plan to original Medicare with the same Medigap issues noted above. The fall open enrollment period is not specifically the time to change Medigap policies. If clients have a Medigap policy and want to change it, they can do that at any time of the year. Being mindful of, I got to see if I can't do this here. Yes. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to do this. Being mindful, I do kind of like this right here. Being mindful of Medigap issuers' underwriting policies. It is usually possible to go down from a more comprehensive plan, F to G, for example. F to G. Because F going away, G is sustaining itself. Without underwriting, but if they want a more comprehensive policy from G to F or N to G, or if they want to change companies, again, I kind of like this little thing here. I'm using my screencast on Mac as opposed to the other things. I like that. And it keeps my language while I'm talking as opposed to like the old Asian movies, karate movies where it's about 5 seconds delay. They will be subject to underwriting and may not get approved. Again, if they want to change companies, they could be subject to underwriting and may not get approved. When evaluating Medicare Advantage plans, one of the primary considerations is the provider network. Again, it's a network Medicare Advantage plans. If you live in Atlanta, the network is going to be wide and far and deep. If you live in Alaska, there is no network, thus there's no Medicare Advantage plans. Can clients see the doctor they want? Are good specialists available? Encourage clients to call their doctor's office and ask which plans the doctor's in and which ones they recommend. Doctors have their own reasons for participating in a Medicare Advantage plan or not, including payment policies and admin requirements, which have nothing to do with patient care. But clients will want to be sure they can continue to see the docs they want. So the plan should be good for for doctors as well as patients. So it can't just be good for you. It's got to be good for the docs as well. Clients who have a Medigap policy and drug plan should focus on the drug plan. Exactly, because Medigap I told you, it's strict. It has to offer this. The Part D does not have to offer this in terms of compounding drugs, in terms of whatever drugs they're going to use. Look, I've just learned all this stuff for the last couple of months. I'm not an expert, but the fact I can tell you, I didn't know any of this crap until about 3 months ago when I started working with Jay and then Elaine here. And I'm just like, whoa, crazy. They should look at the recent drug usage, note their out-of-pocket costs in 2018, and see how those costs might change in 2019. Personally, I've always chosen a drug plan with the lowest premiums because I didn't take any drugs on a regular basis. Now my doctor has prescribed Flovent, which costs about $285 a pop for every 60 days. 35 or so after the Part D deductible is paid. Now that my situation has changed, I'll be shopping carefully for drug plans and try to find the plan with the lowest out-of-pocket cost for this particular drug, Flovent. I'm not sure what it is, but Elaine would certainly know, and she takes it and she got paid for it, even if I have to pay higher monthly premiums. For clients who are changing plans, the Medicare Rights Center recommends people enroll in the new plan directly through Medicare after confirming all the details with the plan itself. Enrolling through Medicare is the best way to protect against problems with enrollment. They recommend that people write down everything about the conversation, including the date, blah, blah, blah. All right. So that's the open enrollment period. I'm just telling you, in my opinion, I'm going to see a broker. I'm going to see Jay, or I'm going to see somebody else who knows a broker, not a representative of USA or United Health or something like that. I'm going to see a broker who has access to all the various plans and policies that are out there. I'm just telling you, because, man, this is way beyond just a normal human being to understand unless you do this full time. So open enrollment is upon us, my friends. If Medicare is on your mind for either you or your folks, you better be looking at it for sure. And I would be on the horn with a broker right now to see what they need to be, what you need to be thinking about. So if you like what you see here at Heritage Wealth Planning, don't forget to subscribe down below. And of course, as always, comments are welcome. Thumbs up. I'd love to hear your comments on various Part D in particular. Like Elaine talks about Flovent that she talks about here. I don't know anything how that works. I don't know. So it'd be interesting to see what your rules and regulations and issues or non-issues are with your prescription drugs or with your mom or something like that. So put them in the comments down below. And again, subscribe, and we'll see you next time at the Heritage Wealth Planning YouTube channel. Thanks, guys.